Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the show. Right now, it's just me and my man, Matt. But we're going to have some more hopefully in a little bit. But before that, let's do this.
This is DWTT coming to you. The Emirates.
Hello, hello, people. Welcome to the show. As I said, I got Matt with me. I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping to get Mr. Tom, but as some of you probably realized, and if you saw any of the game today, he probably isn't feeling it right now. He probably
What's the final score in that game? I hadn't even watched.
Yeah, they lost 6-1. Yeah. It wasn't fun. It looked like it could have been. For a second there, I thought he had the
Yeah, let's give Tom a night off, man.
Yeah, he might not join us, but I thought he would. We got Tony has joined us. Welcome to the show, Tony.
How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. Got Pink Cushion is joining us, and Big Gunner is in the house. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, no, that Leeds game went. I guess we'll get into that Leeds game. It looked like it was going to be it was 2-0 at halftime, and then Liverpool made a mistake defensively. The center back basically coughed out the ball, and they were able to score. And you're like, oh, he's following that Arteta strategy of how to blow a 2-0 lead. But it didn't happen. He didn't follow the rules. They went on to score the next 4 goals, and that's all she wrote. That's what Arteta should have learned how to do. Like, Arteta, if you're out there, whatever you do, take a look at the game today, and take some notes of how to finish up a game when you're up 2-0 on the road. And Mr. Tom has joined us. Welcome to the show.
Look at Tom with the fresh cut. Look at him, man.
Yeah, he said he wanted to be one of the he wanted to be in the gang of the bald-headed men.
It looks like
Yeah,
Mr.
good on you,
Queen
man.
stole one of Leeds'
When are you
new
going to join our
subjects.
gang, Tony?
I have too big of a fucking head to shave mine. I look weird.
You don't have too big of it. There's lots of people out there with big heads, no hair.
Oh, he's good to go. He still has a full head of hair. You know?
We got the Assembled has joined us. Welcome to the show. And we were just talking about the game that just played a couple hours ago. I know Mr. Tom has. Mr. Tom, he's been savoring it, and I think he's got something he wants to say. Right? You said you got something. You got something you want to say. Yes.
Yeah, of course I have things to say. If your team got decimated 6-1 at home, you'd have something to say, would you not?
I
Are they
have.
safe for
I've
home?
been there. We've been there.
Yeah, safe for work and school. Is this safe for home? I think. Are you to be clean enough?
I've had to sit here and discuss with other Leeds fans about our only asset that we could probably sell is the goalkeeper. Is the same goalkeeper that had 10 shots against him across 2 games, and he conceded a goal from every single shot. No saves. 10 goals conceded. And then I'm going to have Leeds fans try and tell me that he's a good goalkeeper. Do you know what makes an elite goalkeeper? Do you know why Alisson, Ederson are elite goalkeepers? Because they do nothing for 89 minutes and then they're expected to do something, and they usually do it. That's a level of concentration that wins things. You're going to save a lot of things. You're going to save a lot of shots if you've got a lot of shots coming at you. The law of averages says that you're going to end up looking good because you can blame it on your defence. But you know what? I'm not going to take it away. Liverpool scored 6 goals, and that was it. That was it. Not good enough. And I also had Leeds fans telling me, "Oh, it ain't about the effort, lack of effort. It's the fact that Liverpool are just really good. It's like it's the worst Liverpool team for the last like 10 years,
Yeah, yeah. People are
and
giving
we've
them.
already beat them."
Yep. You look like a team that was like, well, you know what, they're Liverpool, so we're supposed to lose to them. That's what it looked like the way the game started, because it shouldn't. It looked like, to give like, it's like, you know how you like lose the game in a tunnel, right? You look over, like, oh, I was watching it before the game in the tunnel. Meslier, let's see, I think it was one of the defender, I think that coughed up the ball, actually kind of gave him a hug or something like that in the tunnel. And then he was talking to the goalkeeper, Allison, I think it was. And it was just like, it didn't look right. Like, didn't look right. It looked like he looked a little skittish, and that's exactly what you saw on the pitch. And like, if you take a look, if you get a chance to look at that in the tunnel right before the game.
I will never watch that match ever again.
Oh, okay, maybe not.
But all I will say, because I know you like this is Arsenal focused. All I will say is, stop me when you've heard this record before against Arsenal, against Crystal Palace, against Liverpool, and probably a hatful of other teams this season. Leeds have looked good in the football match until the other team scores. And then we just fold we fold like a deck of cards, or as I think Mark said it earlier, wet tissue paper or wet toilet paper, because we're shit.
Sure. Gary, that's a great segue.
Go ahead, you do it, because I was like, I missed.
That's a great segue into this past weekend for the Arsenal. I mean, I couldn't have said it. I mean, if you took the kit off of him and put on an Arsenal kit, it would almost sound like he was talking about Arsenal the way we played yesterday. The last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks.
Last 2 weeks,
brother. Let me tell you something, fellas. Good evening, everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all hit the like button, share, and subscribe. This past weekend, and me and you, we had a nice discussion about this before we went on the air tonight. There comes a sense of
Did you see the new record we have, or Taylor has?
Well, so say it again, Tony.
Did you see our new record?
What's the new record?
New record is losing 2 matches in a row.
In a row. Yeah, that you're up 2-0.
Gone 2-0 up.
We in deep doo-doo, man. And that's putting it lightly.
Yeah, that's what happens when you got.
Oh, here it is. I think this is what
3,000.
This is what I think they were waiting for your superlative, or they're waiting for,
That's what I did. That's what I did when soccer missed that penalty kick. That's what that was. Yeah, that's exactly what I did when soccer missed that penalty kick. You know, the problem with us, Gary, and it's across the board. You know, it's across all fronts. We have gotten to this new habit of we don't know how to finish off teams. It's a habit because it's 2 weeks in a row. This is 2 weeks, and we've had a couple of games, Gary. Let's just be real. A lot of people are going to just look back at these last few weeks, but we've had about several games this year that could have easily went the way these past few games have gone. We just got off the hook. You know, like I said, we was riding Lady Luck's coattails. But yesterday was probably the worst of the lot. Total control for 15 minutes. I'm in my head. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who do we appreciate? You know, I started to text that to you. Yesterday. 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? And something said, wait. Don't do it. Don't do it. And my Virgo intuition kicked in yesterday. And I just watched the game. And I looked, and I watched the midfield. The first thing that went was the midfield. I said, "Uh-oh, they getting overran. That we got problems." Then we look up. Soccer gets the ball, and he's been doing this the last just over dribbling. This is you get in there, you dribble. Gary, this is another thing. Me and Lee Gunner talked about this last week. We was chatting back and forth, and I told Lee, I said, Lee, one of the biggest problems that we have that I've noticed the last 4 or 5 games, we have this tendency to attack, and then we stop immediately in the attack and pass back. We start all the way back over. Let's just let everybody else get set up, and then we want to break that down. When they're clearly on the back foot, and we need to be pressing forward to try to get another goal. We get down now, we stop, we turn around, we pass sideways, back, sideways, back, sideways, back. Put the goalkeeper up under pressure, put defenders up under pressure, then invite chaos. Then when chaos happens, penalty kick, bam, boom, bosh. And now here we are.
Did see Michael had 72% of possession.
Yeah, 72% of possession, and they had 28%. And what does it mean? Absolutely nothing.
And they got 16 shots off, and we got 11.
Can somebody give me the stat? Tom, can you give me the stats on the day's game? I just out of curiosity want to know what the percentage was on the Liverpool game.
Yeah, no, you know, I watched the game. I'll get into it a little bit while Tom looks that up. But I watched the game. I was out of town, so I was at a baseball game. So I kind of watched the beginning of it, and then I kind of watched it.
Leeds had 26.
And I watched. Let me finish what I gotta say. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. I know, and I told him to hold it. Hold it. No, so I watched that. He said I watched that first 10 minutes. I'm like, damn. And then, as you said, the one thing that I always say is, well, okay, we need to get that third goal before they even think about, you know what, I might have a chance. Because that's all. It doesn't matter. It's every game we played where we scored 2 goals. It's like we got to get that next goal. Then it's done. They're not going to be able to catch up to us if we do that, and we struggle to do that a lot of times. As you say, we just kind of give it up. And what was crazy is I kind of watched the game again yesterday, and I kind of watched it over again. And after the 10-minute mark, for like 10 minutes we were putting pressure on them. For the next 12 minutes, because I was kind of going through it to putting down some notes, the constant threat of a goal, gone.
Yeah.
Gone. We had so much possession, and I asked how many times did we touch that ball in that final third? As you said, it was like my wife just put on the dome. You know, the dome, it was like the dome just popped up after 10 minutes, and we just couldn't get into that final third with any kind of consistency. And basically at that point you're giving the other team like, well, if they don't want to score, and that's the same thing that all these other teams that looked at in Liverpool, if they don't want to do it. And I go back to the City game, I said, and people have heard me, that City game would look exactly like that. City was going back and forth with us, and eventually Pep said, well, if they don't want to win this, I'm going to make some changes and I'm going to win this.
Yeah.
And similarly, yesterday, I didn't even think they even had to make any changes because we basically seemed to just roll over. And you know what? As some people said, Partey went from one of the best number 6s in the league in the first 10 minutes, and then from then on, not so good after that. And we lost the midfield, and it was over.
We played right into the hands of David Moyes. That was you want to talk about walking right into the lion's den. We literally slowed the game down and played exactly what West Ham wanted to play. Slow the game down,
way down.
Yeah, way down.
Way down.
We got some more people joining us, and I'll let you guys get into the stats here. Let's see, where was I when I Yep. Yeah, this is the beginning to looks like the year. Yeah, you know what? And there's this is that 3-game stretch that we had last season. Not maybe the same time period, but these 3 games going into the City match should be winnable games the way we've been playing all season.
Yeah.
It's pretty
So,
close to
and-
the same.
I told Lee that. I said
Yeah.
this is literally the same thing we saw last year. We
And we
have 5 game
we don't the good difference, if there is a good difference, is we're not losing, and we still control our own fate. So if we do get a win this weekend, which is gonna, I think we should be able to get a win, then we still control our fate. It's still in our own hands.
Keyword should.
Should. And Sam has joined us. Welcome to the show. Folks, just
fate.
realize I'm here to make sure everything
The
runs smooth
fate
without
of humanity is in Arteta's
Without
hands.
any shenanigans. Actually, he's lying to you because he doesn't know the word without. It's really just with. With many shenanigans is what's going to happen, people. Colonel Ward has joined us. Welcome to the show. And Big Gun is looking where he probably shouldn't be looking, but that's all right. If that's what you want to do. If that's we're okay with that. If that's what you were into. 28% is alcohol volume in Matt's cough medicine. If you got it from old
98%. 98. Ever clear. Ever clear.
Jess has joined us, people. Welcome, Jess, to the show.
What's up, Jess? How you doing, brother? Hey, that's it. Jess speaks facts on arrival. You see that?
Yeah. Yep.
On arrival.
That has the fire water.
Yeah. And as Sam says, get it done, and we did not do that. Canterbury Gooner is in the house. Welcome to the show. Anybody else before we get going in here? Oh yes, Arsenal Misfit has joined us from Canada. Welcome.
Why'd you change your YouTube name to Canterbury Gooner?
This is Riddy, right? It is
Yeah,
Riddy, right?
So it was his name before, but now he's
Okay.
changed it to his Twitter handle.
I don't know. Maybe he's trying to I don't know. Anders has
He
joined us.
wants more
Tayyib has joined us. Welcome to the
Tayyib.
show. All right, so let's get into it. What's it say? The assemble. I got blocked on Lee Jesse's show today because
Hey, man, I'll tell you, boy, they do not. You know what? We'll get into stats in just a second. I'm glad Jess pointed it out. I've seen a lot of that today. For some weird reason, I've just been privy to locations, and people are mentioning it. People are going on now talking about second place is acceptable.
Nope.
And wait a minute now. You tell me. All right. So if I put it to you this way, say, okay, we were in 5th place, but we ended the season in 2nd place. Hey man, that's pretty damn good. I can work with that. But to be 11 points clear, or 8, whatever it was at the beginning of the year, Gary, turn calendar of the year, we sat right here and was rolling. We were rolling. And what did we say? And what did we say, Gary? We said, we need to go to the transfer window. We need to buy players. We need to challenge. We need to make sure we have everything in order in case something, we need an insurance policy in case something goes bad.
Didn't we do the same thing 12 months before that, Matt?
Yeah, we said the same thing 12 months before that. And we said it a year before that too. And so here we are. And here we are. And so now, all of a sudden that things are starting to turn sour. You've got people going, oh man, 2nd place is outstanding. You got Garrett. What's the boy from Manchester United? He's 2nd place is outstanding. And that's what?
Oh, Gary Neville.
Gary Neville. What? Are you kidding me? Right from where we are right now, 2 weeks ago, the point swing,
Yeah.
brother. If I put it to you this way, if this was a relegation, if we were in 14th place and we had a 6-point swing like that, somebody would be getting fired. Somebody would be getting fired.
True. And Cheddars, Chris Nix has joined us. What does DWTT stand for, people? What does DWTT stand for? What does it stand for?
Ban
Come
for
on,
24 hours, please.
Can somebody answer me? What does DWTT stand for?
I'm trying to think of an acronym that's funny outside of that.
I know.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying
I get it.
About losing this game.
No, I don't know. Let's not do that.
It's the drop weight tier test.
I know you have some nonsense to bring up now. I should have never asked it
No, I
again.
literally Googled DWTT.
I know, but I
and the
don't want
first
to hear your
entry
answer
was,
now.
What
I really
is the
don't
drop
want to hear
weight
it.
tier test?
I
But
really
you
don't
asked
want
the
to hear it.
panel, and I'm on the panel.
I know, but
What's
not
the
anymore.
stats?
You're off the panel.
What's the stats? What's the stats, Tom? What was that percentage on that game today?
I believe it was Leeds had, according to livescores.com, Leeds had 27%, Liverpool had 73%.
You see
I'm surprised we had that much.
You see
ESPN had it 26-74.
Well, you see the percentage of what we had 70. What was it, Tony? 72%.
72.
72%, 28%. We in the draw. They have the percentage, and look at the score, 6-1. That's how it should have been yesterday.
I'm just 13 shots too. 13, 7 on goal. 6 of them went in the back of the net. That's pretty good. 7 on target, 6 of them go in.
We've got. I'm telling y'all, man, we have got to win this game Friday, and we've got to go. We all knew this. We knew this was going to be the case, and me, especially me and you, Tony and Gary. You've got to go to Manchester City and do the job. And after we got off the camera yesterday, Lee asked me. He said, "What do I think?" And I honestly told him, "I don't know. I don't know. Do I think we can beat? Do I think we can beat Man City? I think we could, but will we? No, I doubt it. I doubt it. I seriously doubt it, especially based off of what I've seen the last couple of weeks."
Yeah, I always go by what I see, and what I'm not seeing consistent play from us, and I'm not seeing us give ourselves chances to win. Jazz, I just sent you the link. I know you said you wanted to try to come on, so we'll see if you come on and hang out with us for a little bit. But yeah, so no,
do you like crisps, Jazz?
Does he like crisps? Oh boy.
Do you like crisps?
This is the lighthearted. This is the lighthearted side of the. This is the therapy session here.
Yeah, we're enjoying ourselves here, hopefully a little bit.
This is the bar. Yeah, this is the bar.
And you know what? DWTT, as you guys know what it stands for, Don't Waste a Trip. If you're sitting here, as you said, as we're sitting here at the top of the league since when? September? October?
September. Yeah, since August.
Since we can remember, we've been sitting at the top. If these players, if these players can't get, the sense of urgency is gone. It doesn't look like one player, please. Can one player just say, you know what, screw it. None of this is working. I'm just going to take it on myself. I'm going to take it on myself, and I'm going to get this thing done. All right.
There's one player that can do that, but he doesn't start. And that's Cassard.
You know what I would have liked to saw yesterday. I would.
Everybody else is exhausted.
So let's a second before you continue. We got Jess has joined us on the show.
Jess, what's going on, brother?
Evening, guys.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, no, appreciate having you on. Yeah, so as you can see, we're gonna talk through this thing and try to make some sense of it, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah,
you're like a horse that led the whole way until you wasn't leading.
11 minutes in, yeah.
You know what I would have liked to saw yesterday, Gary, and I'm gonna be just blunt as blunt can be. Martin Odegaard should have went over to somebody when that first goal. I don't care who he picked out. He should just open hand slap them and say, "What are y'all doing?" Something. I mean, something to get. Something at this stage. In order for us to even be successful going down the stretch, it's going to require leadership. And unfortunately, we just don't have it. We just don't have it. I mean, Tom, Tony just said, Trossard, but I can't see Trossard. Me personally, I can't see Trossard walking out there screaming at everybody, telling everybody what to do. We just don't have that player in the team.
And Gabriel does is about the only one.
Yeah, but he's out there knee sliding.
I hear that. So Jez, talk to us. I know you had something you wanted to say. So,
well, the fact remains, man. I've been watching some of your shows, and I've been haven't commented a lot. I went on a show tonight, and I got blocked by a certain person who's on AFTV because I called out a certain woman because she was accepting that we come second. When you're in elite football, you don't accept second. You accept coming first. And that, I'm sorry, I just don't accept that narrative. I've watched this club for too many bloody years. And you've got a guy in the chat here saying, I'll accept coming second. We have showed improvement. There's no guarantee to winning a league, especially for a team. Plays almost 8 London derbies. Don't be sour about it. Mate, you are an absolute complete fucking idiot. We go to win leagues. We go to win FA Cups. We go to win. You are the cancer in the fan base because you will accept nothing at all because you are happy. You are just happy to go along and say, oh, well, yeah, we competed. Oh, well, yeah, we did all right. But no, Colonel Ward, you're a prick. And I call people because I'm sorry, I've been watching this football club for 57 years, right? I know this club. I've been around it for way too long. I do not accept second. We've been second, third, fourth, fifth, eighth for bloody years. And I want this club to succeed. I'm sorry, people, if you think I'm being out of order, but I put it out there as an Arsenal fan, a real Arsenal fan. I grew up next to that stadium. I was bloody born next to that stadium at Highbury. So I know the people around North London, and I do not accept idiots that will try and talk to me about, oh, well, we're overachieving. We never expected to do this. Wake up and grow a pair. Because this is what Arsenal Football Club do. Third biggest football club in English football. And you are trying to tell me to accept mediocrity. Oh, well, it doesn't matter because we'll go again next year. No, bloody no.
I hear you, Jez. But we let everybody have their say on the show, and I understand you're not accepting second. No, but think about it. If you're not accepting second, but if we take it, we take it from the start of the season right to now, second is an improvement for many. I for one don't like the fact that we might waste it.
Do you accept that?
I don't want second where we are today, but tomorrow, if the end of the season comes and we're not first, am I going to be like, well, you know what, this it's all over. This trip that we're on, this process that we're on is over. I don't believe so. One, because we are.
I do have a quick response.
It's not like we're not going up against a juggernaut, right? Everybody said it going in. Even when we had 8 points and an opportunity to go maybe 11, everybody's already said that. You know what, City, it's only a matter of time before City comes in. So, and that's not like us belittling what we're doing. It's just that they are a quality team. They've been showing this for a while. So yeah, I believe I believe everybody should be able to have their say. I don't think anybody's picking on one person or not. So I don't know if you took it personal or not, but I don't believe that's the case. But we do allow people to have their say. And what is that you wanted to say there?
Go ahead, Tony. I'll let you go. I'll come after you.
I agree with him. All those people are hypocrites because everyone's wanting Wenger fired because we weren't competing for a championship, winning the league. That's what everybody wanted, was winning the league. Now it's okay. Oh, it's a project. We finished 8th. Oh, we finished 8th. It's a project. Finished 5th. It's a project. Well, you're in 4th with a 74% chance of winning. You lost it twice. You didn't show up at Liverpool. You lost. Now here we are this season. Didn't go and reinforce like we should have. Bought a center back that we apparently can't use. So why did we waste $28 million on him? That makes no sense. He has to be better than Rob Holding because I can go out there on my one leg and outplay Rob Holding because he's slow as molasses and just not good. But to me, a lot of those fans are hypocrites because, like I said, they were wanting Wenger fired, wanting Emery fired. When they were wanting Emery fired, we were sitting in third, trying to go up in the table, and then I don't know. It just, to me, a lot of hypocrites.
How many Liverpool fans were out there looking for second place when Klopp came in? Because when Klopp came in, I heard, they were getting frustrated there for a minute, until they finally won a title. And then what did you hear this year? What have you been hearing the last month? You've been hearing people saying it's time up for Klopp, right? That's what I've been hearing. At some point, and I've already come to the realization. Y'all know how I am. I've already come to the realization. Until wholesale changes are made, we're gonna keep going through this rat race over and over and over. And I'm quite frankly, I'm tired of it. I was one of the first few people, at least that I know, that was Wenger out, and I'm talking way back when we pissed away the title years ago. I was pretty much done with him then. But to sit here and watch this club the last 4 to 5 years just flounder around and flounder around, and then we finally get to the promised land. Get in on route to the promised land. And to just watch this year unfold, because you have to step back a lot of times to analyze. I love analyzation. You have to step back and analyze, and you look in August, and you look where we were. We sat right here, me, you, Tony, Sam, Sam, the crew, everybody sat right here, and we watched. And what did I tell y'all? I said we have got to buy quality players. We spent almost $40 million on Vieira. $40 million on a guy that has played maybe 10 times total this year. That's $40 million, people, on this gentleman. Then you roll around, you get into January, and you buy a defender from the backside of Poland. You're paying him $25 million. Then you look at the Pepe deal. That didn't work out. Then you look at the Deadwood we still got here. People say, well, the Crockies hadn't spent money. They spent almost $600 million. When are people going to start questioning upstairs?
About $300 million of that on defense.
On defense. And we still got a top flight center back that's out that we don't have adequate replacement for. And if you know, like I know, these back injuries can go from 6 months to a year. It's no guarantee he'll be back in 6 months with a back injury. And now we're in a situation, Gary. We're in a situation where we're staring down the barrel of, the new talk is second place Champions League. Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen. Okay, we finished second place. Who in this chat and on this channel right now honestly believes that this regime is going to go out this summer and bring in quality players? And I don't want to see anybody in the chat tell me Jude Bellingham is coming to Arsenal, because I know, and Stevie Wonder can see that Jude Bellingham ain't coming to Arsenal. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. And we have got to start getting our house in order if we plan on competing. I'm going to say it again. I will repeat this every week. Newcastle, if you think Chelsea's just going to sit down in 10th place, you out of your mind. Aston Villa, say what you want to say. Spurs is going to start figure out. They're going to probably spin their way out of the mess. Manchester United is going to be back next year. Manchester City is still around. Somebody else is probably going to pop into the fray after a while, and then here we are. It's no guarantee, people, that we're going to be in this situation again. For some weird reason, our fan base believes that we will compete for the championships from here to come. I watched the Chelsea team win the championship, and then the next year they were down there scrambling in relegation. That nothing is guaranteed in this league, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing is guaranteed in this league. And our fans have got to wake up and come up off of this and demand better.
Yeah, and I hear what you're saying, and I just want to say hi to a couple people who joined us.
Can I just
Call,
answer your
Call
question?
Can I just say this is a second, Jess. Let me just go through a couple of intros, and then you can let you have your say now. Kyle Wash, welcome to the show. TJ's joined us as well. I think that might be it for everybody who's joined. Any newcomers, if I missed you, that's cool. Colonel Ward, good seeing you in here with us. But yeah, go ahead, Jez.
You just showed a comment there. A league every year from Colonel Ward. Yeah. Sorry, mate. When you're in elite football, you challenge every year. You don't capitulate and accept second, third, fourth. This is Arsenal Football Club, the 6th biggest football club in the world, in Europe. So I expect Arsenal to be challenging every year. Yeah, I agree with you, man. We're not going to win it every year, but you actually challenge and you give it a go. Yes, that's what big football clubs do. And that is why you look at the likes of Bayern Munich, right? Real Madrid, right? They sack managers after they've won the Champions League because they're doing crap in the league, in a domestic league. I will never ever accept mediocrity because I've seen this club win trophies, win 11 league titles in my lifetime. So I will not accept the fact that we're just going to be a bit part player. And the whole problem, Gary, is the fact that we have a fan base that has been brought up in the Wenger era that falls the trophy. Yeah. Falls the trophy. We'll get into the Champions League. And all that does is bring in a load of millions of pounds. Can you imagine? We are going to qualify for the Champions League, yeah? Guaranteed. Yeah? Can you imagine this team in the Champions League against Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich? Can you imagine?
I hear you, Jez. But for me, if we're watching this thing as we've been watching it for at least since Arteta's come in here, it's not. Many people said as soon as he came in, I remember this. It's going to be 10 years until we get back to where we want to be, because of and we've seen it, right? We're 4 years in. I didn't believe it, but that's where we are right now. Think about what you're asking for. You're asking for a squad. You're asking for a team to be able to go in there and compete for the league and Champions League every year. Be able to compete for it. You look at what we got right now. We're probably about 10 to 15 strong right now, and that's not good enough. Not even for the league, right? So I can only tell you what I see. We're still a ways to go before we can say, you know what, we can take 6, 7 of our players and put them on the bench and still can be able to compete, because we're not doing it now. So we definitely don't have the players. So I'm not going to try and go, yes.
I'm going to say something.
We're going to be right there tomorrow, because we're not, because we got a ways to go. This is a process. This isn't going to happen overnight, at least from what I've seen and the way that this team wants to work.
Yeah, go ahead, Tony.
I said this Thursday because Ray's been saying, "Oh, we're going to be good for the next 3 or 4 years." But how many of you think next year, being in the Champions League, the way Arteta rotates for players, that we'll finish in the top 4 in the league? I don't think we will.
You know what? I'm going to go a step further than that. You know when I think the realization is going to hit people. I said this yesterday at my men's game yesterday. I was talking with a buddy of mine, and a good friend of mine I used to coach with, and we were sitting around talking about Arsenal. And I looked at him and I told him, I said, when reality is going to set in for a lot of our fans and for a lot of our people, and Jez kind of hit on it there a little bit. You know when the reality is going to set in for us. Tony, I'm going to ask you, when do you think the reality is going to set in for people?
Probably 2 years, maybe.
Gary, I'm going to ask you, when do you think the reality is going to set in for people?
That what? Sorry.
That we're not going where we need to go.
Oh, Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not in 2 years. That means we're taking a step back. Right?
I'm going to tell you
That's
when
what
it's going to happen. I'm going to tell you because I know our fan base. I'm going to tell you when it's going to happen. When Newcastle hoist that trophy up within 5 years, and then people are going to be wondering how did they do that? And there's going to be a lot of hurt feelings. I remember when Chelsea got the money. Jez remembers when Chelsea got the money. We also remember when City got the money. And City, it took about 4 or 5 years, and they were ready. Boom, they were there. It's about how serious do you take this?
They're
I'm not saying you not take it serious. I'm not saying you take it.
There's realism, right? The realism right now is we are not going to. No, think about it. Just listen to me for a second. We are not going to spend money like these teams you're talking about. We're not. So why am I going to think, all right, it's going to change overnight? It isn't, because we're not spending the money like that. We are not.
We know that.
Either you get along, either you get on board with what they're trying to do, because that's the only thing we can do. And so far, it's working, right? We need to be competing for a league. We're showing we can do it. I don't think we can compete on all 4 fronts right now, but we're showing we have a good enough squad that can compete when they're healthy with anybody, any team in this league right now. Right? That's what. Am I wrong? Are you saying we don't? Our first 11 cannot compete with the teams in the league?
I mean, for the last 2 weeks, we haven't been able to.
No, but that's because we're starting to break down, right? It's a totally. As I said, our first 11. Yeah, that's how deep we are right now. We got a maybe strong 12 to 15 players that we can bring on, but we're not there yet where we've got a big enough squad. At least the way we're set up right now. And I tell you all the time, this is what I'm seeing. We're all seeing it. We don't like it. I think that's the problem. We're all seeing it. We just don't like it. We don't like it because you know what? When this whole thing started, I said they want us to wait. I don't know if you remember this. They want us to wait. I don't want to wait. That's why I would rather not have brought in Arteta, because Arteta requires us to wait. That's what I said. And guess what? They made us wait, and we're seeing some progress. Not fast enough, of course. We would like it to go a lot faster than this. We'd like some more numbers to be thrown into this thing to get us where we want to be. But that's not what they're going to do. And it's hard for me to compare us to Chelsea and Real Madrid, all these teams that are spending tons of money. We're not going to do that. It's not going to happen. So I can't get upset about what other teams are going to do with the money that they have bringing in, because we're not going to do that. We're not. We've shown we won't. So I can't get mad at
top and net spend, Gary. We just don't sell our players.
For do better. Yeah, well, that's because of the bad players we had already. All right. I mean, right now, predominantly, we're bringing in some good players, more than we were before. All right. Still having some.
Tom is quiet. Let's hear what Tom has to say. He's down there. He's soaking it in.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of hyperbole going on. I mean, you can get a result at Man City and you'll be fine. You're talking like you've already lost it. You're in front.
Based off of what we've seen the last 2 weeks, Tom, going into that game, you should exercise your poll right now, Gary. That'd be a good, put up a poll if you could do one. Who thinks that we're going to beat Man City in 2 weeks based off of what we've seen?
I don't think you're real.
Me personally, I wish we had played the game when we played it back in January. January or March, whenever the game was supposed to be played. I would rather just played it then and got it over with.
It was originally supposed to be when McQueen died.
When was the last time Arsenal won in the league at Etihad?
Arteta scored the goal.
When that's the last time we beat Liverpool. So, if we're gonna go by that, worst case scenario, we might just get a draw, right?
We beat Liverpool,
right? Or best case scenario, we might just get a draw. And if that's the case, that's really all we need to do at this point, right? They have to beat us right now, unless we lose this weekend, right? If we win this weekend, they have to beat us for the script to change, right? Whereas we just have to go out there and try. We can play with them. We've shown we can. Whether it happens, we'll see. But we can't change this thing up, right? We went through a stretch where we lost 2 and drew 1, and we responded to that. All right, we're just drawing right now, so it's not as bad, but it isn't. So it's the wrong time of the season to have this little slip here. So we got 2 games where this team needs to show up, all right, and then we'll see where we are at that point, and then go from there.
I think Gary, you have to get real on this. Manchester City are now in a purple patch. Arsenal are bottling it because something is wrong at Arsenal. I did a stream earlier. I don't know what it is. Something mentally there is wrong. We have to win against Southampton. I'm confident we will. Friday night, yeah? But there is something is not right. Something is broken at Arsenal right now. And if you looked at Saka on Sunday, he did not look very happy at all. He was totally unconfident when he took that penalty. He was like, I don't really want to be here. Now, I know since that game, he's had some shockingly terrible abuse, which I think is disgusting on Twitter and other platforms. I just don't agree with racial abuse in any shape or form. But that, unfortunately, is social media. But something's wrong. Something has broken. And I've been watching people saying, yeah, well, if we get a draw at Man City, that'll be okay. Okay. Look at what games they have got compared to what we've got. We've got Newcastle away. Then we got Chelsea or Brighton. They are not easy games. Chelsea love to cause problems. Brighton are on form. They're in an FA Cup final, semi-final, I beg your pardon, against Man United this weekend. We've got the toughest run-in compared to Man City. So people don't gas it up. I've been there too many bloody times and seen Arsenal capitulate. I remember in 2002 being at bloody Bolton Wanderers, 2-0 up, we lost 3-2. We were walking away with the league. It was all done and dusted. But no, Arsenal decided to start showboating like it was a training game. And then we lost 3-2. Sorry, but sometimes mentality in people need to stand up. And I'm sorry, Gary, guys, this team doesn't have it. And I know people in the chat are going to totally disagree with me. I'm sorry, I've seen it too many times. I've seen this since 1968.
Go back, Gary. Go back to that last one. Right there. Right there is the problem. Right there. Right there.
You know what that is, though? You know what that is for me, anyways? It's because if you look at the team dynamic that we have right now. We're not an established team right now. We're talking about we need to be able to get into the Champions League and compete. That takes a lot of things we just don't have right now. So we are only going to be able to go, as you say, by the momentum. What's the way the stream's going, though? Yeah.
It takes depth. Look, you got Gabriel that has 3,500 minutes.
Yep.
Saka's almost on 3,200 minutes. Yep. That's a full season.
Well, no, we've got over this too many times. Yeah, we don't have the numbers. So how do we compete with the big clubs? We can't compete with the city. If you can't bring up all these numbers. For me, part of this also, and I said it as well. Are we mentally, physically able to keep up on this in a season like this? With the squad that we have? I don't think so. We've been doing it, but we're not a squad that physically, mentally, can keep up with that pressure of staying at the top. All right. And that's not just the players, because we're seeing things from our manager who's still figuring this thing out.
Yeah,
right? So it's a total team. Is for me bringing it where we are.
You know, Gary, they said that I was told that by the Twitter mafia that basically us being put out of the Europa League, FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, all this stuff was supposed to open up doors and the floodgates, and we were supposed to be able to just wheel and deal, per se. That's what I was told. But now realistically, everybody on this panel, we all know we naked when it comes to numbers. Well, we all naked. We all know that. Yep. But the problem here, Gary, is fans are gonna have to start demanding more. And you can't have 10% of the fans saying, it's going to take a lot of fans that have to say, you know what? We need real investment. Real investment. And when I say real investment, I'm talking about you need more Trossards than you do Kiviors. If we had about 4 or 5 Trossards that we went and got for a Trossard for every position, we probably won't be in the situation we'd be in. Honest to God, I believe we'd be in better shape. But until that happens, we're just pretty much going to just be coasting. If for me personally, it's like was it Tony that said it earlier? If we're going to go to the Champions League and not have proper investment, or even finish, this year is pretty much a wash. It's pretty much a write-off. It's going to play out however it plays out at this stage is however it plays out. But I do know this going into next season, if we're not going to invest in this team and we're going to go get in that Champions League, and we draw somebody like Real Madrid, PSG. God's sake, if we draw PSG, I mean, and then we have to play that, and then it's another one of those 10-2s, 13-5s. The damage, just go get Wenger, bring him back, man. Just bring Wenger back. Let him coach the team because it's the same as that thing that was going on.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know if that's going to happen, so we'll have to wait and see.
I tell you what. You bring Real Madrid one AC Milan, one of them teams. Oh, hell, man, we couldn't even beat Juventus C team. Juventus C team in December. Let's just be real. That was the C team we played against. We played against in December. The C team.
So is all of this smoke and mirrors what we're seeing right now? So we're not winning these games. We're not sitting on top of it. Like, I
know what y'all saying, Gary. Y'all want to lean. Hey, Gary, y'all want to lean on. You want to lean on. Oh, we're at the top of the table. We're at the top of the table. What I'm saying is, cool. We finished at the top of the table. First or second at this stage, like I said, it's gonna play out the way it's gonna play out. All we can do is sit back and watch. Because whatever we could have fixed, we did not do it. The only thing we can fix is what goes on at the training pitch and whatever gets to the field. That's the manager and the players. But as of right now, we need to be starting to look. Questions need to be asked about this transfer policy going into next season. Because if not, we're going to go right back to the same situation we're going to be in. And then everybody be sitting here next year wondering what's going on. And I agree with that situation. Agree with that 100%. It will be the biggest win we had in a long time. And if they can't handle the pressure of dealing with West Ham with Bubbles and a little singing, they're going over to the Etihad with Pep on 100. And people are going to start this thing about, well, they got to play whoever they play in the Champions League. They'll be tired. Man, look at that squad depth, man.
I personally don't think that.
I mean, we're playing one game a week. It shouldn't even matter. We're playing one game a week.
That's why I don't believe it has to do with, like, it's not like depth for physical reasons for us anyways. As I've said multiple times, it is about the mental strain of being in where we are. And, people are saying City can just go on a winning streak, but they have never done that. They have not won. They have not finished off a season the way people think they will. They've always dropped points. Even when they were Centurions, they dropped points. So it's not over and done with, but we have to do our job. If we don't, it doesn't really matter, right? But we're in as much a driver's seat as they are.
One thing that I will say that you could also take away from this run. And I mean, we kind of danced around it already, but I'll just go ahead and put it out there. Is that players that are not up to snuff need to be moved on swiftly at the end of this. Rob Holdings, all these players that French players, they need to be moved on and they need to be rotated on out. There's a certain caliber of player that we're going to need going forward. If we plan on being serious, there's a certain caliber of player that needs to be brought to this team. We don't need to be talking about rewarding players with 12-year contracts and all this kind of foolishness. You know, it's high time that we cut out some of this foolishness that we've been dealing with.
I get talking about the postseason, but we've got 8 games, 7 games left here.
I mean, Jez is right, man. I mean, Brighton, Chelsea, that's a 50-50 game. Chelsea's 50-50, total 50-50 game. But I know Brighton is a tricky game. I mean, this game Friday. This game Friday is tricky. They're a team that's at the very bottom. They're rooted, and they're trying their best to get out of there. It's like running up against a caged bobcat. So
that song stuck in my head now.
It's not going to be easy this Friday, and we've got a section of fans that's already talking about, oh, yo, man, we can go get a result there. And based off of what?
Well, if you got to go, we keep talking about this history. If you go by how we've been playing this season, yes, we do have an opportunity to win this weekend. We have a really good opportunity.
They're going to have to learn, Gary. They're going to have to learn their lesson.
We can't just we can't just say, all right, we'll just take the last 2 games and that's all she wrote. Everything else we did for the entire season, it doesn't mean anything. No, it does mean something. We did win those games. We do have what 74 points right now. It isn't a mirage, right? You got to go out there and win. It doesn't matter what's going on around you, what teams decided to come and play that season or not. If you don't do your job, you don't get the 74 points, and that's where we stand. So I hear you, but I can only go by what's going on today.
Do you know the last time we won in the Premier League at Man City?
We talked about it, right? Didn't 2015 or something like
2012, something like that.
Nope. In the Premier League, it was 2010. 24th of October.
In the Premier League, not FA Cup. Okay. See, a lot of people think he's talking about FA Cup. He said Premier League.
Premier League. I've just looked it up. The last time we won at the Etihad was 2010. 24th of October, won 3-0. We've won there once since then in the Carling Cup. And everybody out there is like gassing it up. Are we going to pipe them this? No. We've got, if we are lucky to walk out there with a draw. And I'm a realist. I am a realist. I'm sorry. I'm the way it's going down the toilet at the moment is I'm being real, because I'm not dissing the team. I want Arsenal to win the league, but going to the Etihad and Canterbury Gooners pot in there, it was January 2015, mate. Yeah, that was mate. That wasn't in the Premier League.
Yeah,
that was in a cup game. The last time we won in the Premier League, 24th of October, 2010. Fact. I've just looked it up. I've got it all here. And it's not looking good, people. They've suddenly come into a purple patch, and that is bad for us. That's bad, because we're misfiring at the moment. Something's wrong. I don't understand what it is. Somebody, please tell me. Please, somebody tell me. We go to Anfield, right? We're shocking at Anfield. And we go 2-0 up. And we come out of a 2. Lucky to come out of 2-2. Right? Could have lost that 3-2 if Salah hadn't spooned that penalty. We then go to West Ham, where I predicted a 4-0. And we should have absolutely spanked the arse off West Ham. Let's be honest, they're absolutely crap. They're fighting for survival. And we walk out with a lucky 2-2. Are you telling me this is a Premiership team that's going to win the league? 8 points clear 3 weeks ago, now 4 points. And we've got to play Manchester City. Come on.
Are we saying it's over now just because of the last two games? Or
He's not saying it's over. He's just saying it does not look good. It does not look good.
I know it doesn't, but are we saying that we cannot regain where we were before, the form we had?
If you
work it out, Gary, work it out.
No, we can't just say look, we went through we won all those games beforehand. We're going through a little downtime right now, and we cannot get it back. It can switch, right? Right, it can.
Look at the run-in we have against Man City's, right? Yeah, we've got the tougher running, and we are misfiring. Manchester City have an easier running, and they are on absolute fire right now because they have a manager, right? They have a manager that is world class and knows how to get things over the line, and he's going for his third consecutive title, right? Fact? Agree?
Yep.
Right? We have a manager that has done the best he can do with what he's got, and I will give him all the credit in the world. We're just not good enough. And it's now coming home because we did this at the same time last year. We're in fourth. We ended up losing the last 3 games, ended up 5th. Okay, and yet everybody out there is gassing up. Oh, we're in the Champions League. Oh, we're going to get all this money. We're going to get all these players. Bullshit. You only attract top world-class players with a world-class manager. I'm sorry, Arteta isn't. He's not proven yet. He's not. And if he doesn't win this Premier League, okay, and he's had everything he wants, everything, his own team, he's had over 500 million, then he has to go. Fact. It's time to move on, bring in somebody that can actually achieve success. Because he ain't good enough. If he doesn't win it, he ain't good enough. He's proved him.
I hear what you're saying. No matter what manager you bring in here, we're still numbers deep. It's still a numbers game. We don't have the numbers in. Even if you bring in the best manager, we're not going to get those numbers. We're not going to get those numbers. We need better on the bench.
What number are you talking about?
Because we don't have. Look, who do we have behind Saliba right now? Nobody, right? Right. So and that's what I mean. So Holding can hold up, but he's not the quality that we need. So we as I said, it's a numbers game. We don't have it. So no matter what manager you bring in, and as I said, they have a plan and they're going by that plan. So I understand all the the concerns with that, but that's where we are.
Well,
I mean, you take Saliba out of the last 2 games, and you've seen what happens, right? Maybe we're not as solid at the back, so that doesn't help us, and we know we don't have the depth, so that's an issue.
I think what we're all getting around to is what basically is one thing. Okay, I'm gonna give Arteta his props, like Jess said. He for this year he's done, but considering what he's had to work with, give him plaudits. My biggest gripe this season is with Mr. Edu, because he has left this team in a situation that we could be competing. But when he turns around and he looks at that bench and all he sees is Kivior, Vieira. What happened to Emmitt Smith-Rowe? Anybody? That's just gone silent. Remember that? Everybody, oh man, he's new signing. These are problems we knew. These are things we knew, Gary. We knew this in January. We sat right here. Me, you, and Anthony sat on that panel for 3 hours. Me and Jazz, we sat on the panel for an hour and a half talking about it. We sat on this show for an hour and a half talking about it. The monkey out there in the purple suit saw it. Everybody saw it. And we still have not rectified problems in this team that give us it's not. Listen, I want people to understand. We all want Arsenal to go down there to the Etihad and drop 10 or whatever on Man City. But realistically, with the hand that we have been dealt, it's an indictment that if we don't win this time, this is why the whole second place thing is basically null and void with me. It's because we were in a situation to where we should have made it our best interest to try to get over the line, and Edu did not do that. And nobody seems to understand that. It's that this guy left the team high and dry again. He left them high and dry last year when we were just scuffling. All we needed was extra bodies to get over the line. It's the same thing this year. Soccer's breaking down. Saliba's broken down. Well, God forbid Gabriel gets hurt. What do you got if he gets hurt? Oh, Kivior? You think about it, Kivior? I mean, you got serious. This is all this the hallmarks of it could be the worst thing. We still got to go to Newcastle. What we get up there, somebody gets hurt. We have got this thing. People should be banging on his door tomorrow morning. What have you done? Every week I get on here. Every single week, I've come on here on this show. Every week, and I bring up what 2 words: transfer window. I go all the way back to that transfer window because you do now. If you're in a position to compete, you strengthen. You don't weaken the team. Look, if we would have bought Kivior in the summer, I wouldn't have cared. That's a summer type signing. Vieira, you can look at the man is frail. He is not Premier League ready. If worst case scenario, you buy that player, you loan him back out, or you send him right on down into the championship. Make a man out of him. You go out and you go get some quality players. You get 3 to 5 quality players, even if it's loans. If it's loans, and you bring them in, that's my biggest gripe about this whole situation is the fact that the team has been left naked. And when the manager turns around, he has nothing to work with.
I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to shut up because there's people here who are talking absolute fucking bullshit. They know nothing about football. Colonel Ward, was Arsene Wenger world class when we got him, but he still attracted half the World Cup winning squad? Mate, go and look and see what he did at Monaco. Before you come in shouting bullshit crap, see what he did at Monaco before he went to Krampus 8. The reason he attracted half of the World Cup winning side at Arsenal from France was because of his contacts at Monaco. So stop talking bullshit to me, mate, because I know the facts. I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And as Sam says, yeah, get rid of a manager who will be giving us our best ever season for points. Games won. Sounds really smart. Well, what does that mean? Nothing. We haven't won fuck all, man. So
you gotta start somewhere. Come on. What are you talking about? So none of that means anything. It doesn't mean anything?
Nothing. It means nothing.
All right.
I mean,
where we been for the last 5 or 6 years, and all of a sudden we're doing this, and it means nothing now.
Sorry,
come
mate.
on, that's not true.
I'm sorry, mate, but you've got some muppets in here who jokes about.
No, you talk about what we see. We're talking about stuff that we're seeing, right? This is what we're seeing. You see the same thing. You don't like it. That's fine. It's fine if you don't like it, but it is what it is. We have the most points Arsenal's had at a point. We could have more points than Invincibles, as somebody said, right?
It means nothing. It means nothing.
It means nothing. You don't win, but it's progress, and that's all we got right now.
Gary, you telling me you agree with it?
I agree that there's progress, but I want to win a trophy. Yes, I do. Everybody in this chat wants us to win a trophy, and we all do.
Are you telling me?
But we're not gonna. You can't just like end it right there and say it's all over. It's not over yet. The season's not over. We're talking about the future, about next season. We got 7-8 games to play here. Let's see how this thing pans out.
I'm gonna tell you this: the end of the year show will be explosive this year.
We'll see.
Regardless of the fact, I can tell you this: that last week, the week before the last week, or after that City game, we will know. We will know. pardon. I'm telling you now. You just sit back and you just wait. You just sit back and wait. I'm not saying who's gonna win or lose. I'm just saying we're gonna find out in 2 weeks. And this time next week, we'll be talking about City, and then we're gonna find out what's going on from there. And we're gonna really have an idea of what's going on. We're gonna find out real soon. That's why I said just be patient. Just be patient. I would have loved to have gotten those 2 wins, those 6 points going into that. My ideal situation would have been to have 6 full points go or 9 technically going into the game with City. But we've put this is the frustration that a lot of people. This is the frustration is that we shot ourselves in the foot yesterday in these past 2 weeks. And I think that's what's got everybody really up. Most folks that really know what's going on, we shot ourselves in the foot. It was a self-inflicted gunshot that we put on ourselves, especially yesterday. That was no reason we should have drew that game yesterday. Under no reason. And we should have won the game last week. Like I told you, we had four chances to score goals. We blew it. Hopefully they'll learn, Gary. Hopefully they have learned. That's all I can say. It's all I can hope is hopefully that they've learned that from the error of their ways, and this will be fixed going forward. That's all I can do is hope at this stage, because I can't guarantee anything with this team.
I hear you. We are coming on about 70 minutes here. We are 70 minutes here, so we're going to start winding this thing down. Mr. Tom, you got anything, Chris, questions before we head out of here?
Nah, I just want to go to bed.
I hear you.
I just want this to end, to be honest.
I get you. Anything you want to say to people before we head out of here?
Nah, not really. Have a good week.
All right. Jez, before we get out of here, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
I think some people get me wrong sometimes. What I'm trying to put in a perspective is don't get too excited, because Arsenal are breaking down. They're misfiring right now. Manchester City are on a run. I will be absolutely heartbroken if we don't win this Premier League. I will. It means so much to me as an Arsenal fan. And we've thrown away all the cups this season, cup competitions, I mean, for this. Because some of our fan base have been saying, we've got bigger fish to fry. No, I'm sorry. If you're a big team and a big successful club, then you compete. You compete. And I'm sorry, this is unacceptable. And yeah, I mean, Sam, I will call and ask fans in the chat you have never been in Pricks and Muppets. I haven't called anybody a Muppet.
You called him a cancer.
I did, because there is not anybody in here, Tony, not in here. I'm saying in the general fan base at the Emirates.
It seemed a little personal, though, because you called out the name.
Colonel Ward. You said Colonel Ward was cancer.
I apologise to anybody who thinks I've called you, because I haven't. I'm talking generally, and everybody is entitled to their opinion. But what I won't accept is people saying, "Well, it's okay to come second now because." If we cock it up, we'll come second. No. You compete to win. It's elite sport. And all this bullshit that's coming out again, Gary, saying, well, nobody ever expected us to compete. That is some of the Arsenal fan base. And they are the problem, because they will support mediocrity from Mikel Arteta, Edu, and the Cronkies. No. That badge behind me, right, is world famous, right? And that is what this football club is about. It's not Arteta FC, it's Arsenal FC. And that's what we are here for, to compete. Nope. Sorry.
I get what you're saying, but I can only go by and I say this all the time, by what I see, and
I don't care.
it does look good right now, but
Hey,
it isn't where we want it.
Gary, I've
We will
told people-
find out. We'll find out. We still have the season's not over. This
Yeah.
book has not been written yet. This story has not been closed, so we shall see. Thanks for coming on, Tony. Anything you want to say before we head out of here?
Yeah, come catch me and Tom on Wednesday. Maybe he'll bring us Chris for us. We haven't decided what we're going to talk about yet, but it'll be wrestling.
Don't tell him that. Why would you-
Are you mad at me now, Tom?
Tony.
I could come up with something in the next few.
Don't get Tony started, please.
Fine.
Please.
That's fine. Exactly.
Don't get Tony
Exactly
started.
right.
Don't get him started.
All right, and Matt, before you get out of here,
We need to win on Friday. That's bottom line. We need to win on Friday. I don't hear anything about draws. I don't hear anything about second place. No, we need to win on Friday. We need some form of momentum going into this city game. We need something to go into that. The last thing you want is to have to go into that game dragging into that game. We need something to get this. We need something to get this club fired up. I don't care what Arteta has to do this week. Whatever whatever he has to do to get this team ready to go before that city game. It needs to be taking place on Friday. Personally, I would like to see Bukayo Saka get a rest. That's me. He's mentally shot out. Sometimes you just need a game, so he's human. Sometimes you need a break. And I hope he gets a break so that he can get himself together for that massive game in a week. Because this time next week, we will all be sitting there watching, and we'll know when the dust clears, we have a better idea of where we're going. Nobody is throwing it in the towel, but there's major cause for concern. Major cause for concern. And I just hope that we can get the job done on Friday to at least add to this lead going into that game. And then from there, we still got some roadblocks to go through. But we have got to rectify this situation of going up and then getting passive, because that's exactly what's been going on. Is we go up, then we get passive, and then we invite pressure. And once we invite pressure, we break down. And once we break down, the old habits start creeping back in. Gentlemen, it's always good to be on here with each and every one of you all. I wish you all a great week. I wish Arsenal a great week. And that is it for me.
all right, everyone. Thank you again for joining us. We'll do this again next Monday. Hopefully, we're talking about a win. And then in preparation for our big game 9 days from today, we'll know where we stand. Either we'll be happy or be sad a little bit, but we still will have an opportunity to continue to run out this season and see how it goes. So it's not over until it's over, right? But we shall see. Thank you again for joining us. We'll do this again. And as I like to say, life is a journey. Don't waste a trip. Enjoy the ride, everyone. And we will see you on the next one. All right. And we're out of here. Okay.